Cool. So now if I go under my testing purpose and if I send a post request, you can see we will be getting the following message from our server of our hashed password that we have hashed our entire Abhishek. Hey everyone, how's it going on? In this video, we are going to build the authentication backend of our Twitter clone. So to make the authentication backend, we are gonna be using Node.js, Express and MongoDB. So if you don't know anything about what is Node.js, Express or MongoDB, I recommend you to watch the following playlist. And the following playlist is totally made for beginners, so you must watch it. So first thing first, make sure you have installed npm under your entire system, that is Node Package Manager. And if you have built that, we are good to go. So now let's move over to our desktop, and onto my desktop I will be creating a new folder. And once we have created, let's move under the following folder. So under my folder, first of all we can open our terminal. So onto my terminal, first of all what we need to do is simply init our npm by writing So first thing first we need to initialize an empty package.json file for our npm. So for that purpose you should be writing npm init-y, and once you have built the following file, the package.json shall be generated, which will be containing all of our packages that we are going to be using under our project. So now let's clear it out, and here I will be installing certain packages. So let me move it here. So first of all, for installing all the packages, you should be writing npm install express. Just like this, we are gonna be using TypeScript. So here I will be writing TypeScript and also Mongoose, which will be our object relational manager for our MongoDB. Once you have written this thing, you should be writing .env, which is a package for securing our environment variables. And after that, I will be installing NodeMon so that our entire server will be up and loading without refreshing the server again and again. Once we have done this, we are also gonna be installing bcrypt, and after bcrypt we are also gonna be installing email validator. So here you should be writing email validator and press enter. Now the following thing may take some time, so let's wait for it. Alright, so all the packages are installed under our system. Now once we have installed all the dependencies, we need to also install some of the developer dependencies. So for that purpose you should be writing npm install tsnode first of all, and after that you should be writing here @types. And under my types, what I can really install is first of all for a node, a type of node, and after that I will be installing types /express and one more. So for that purpose you should be writing types /bcrypt. You can write here save and dev flag, press enter. Alright, so once we have got all of our developer dependencies, let's initialize an empty TypeScript file. So here you should be writing tsc init, press enter. Cool, so let's clear it out and we don't need this. So now under our package.json file, you can see we have got all of our dependencies and also developer dependencies. So now we should be writing some of the important scripts. So first of all, you should be requiring a script for starting a server. So here I should be writing node under public /app.js file. Alright, let's go under our entire project folder, and I will be creating public /app.ts file. And we shall be requiring one more folder known as server. So under our server, I will be creating a new file known as app.ts, and also under my public file, I will be creating app.js, just like this. And once we have got our both of the files, we can go back under our package.json. And after having this start script, we should be requiring a build script. And under my build, I can really write here NodeMon under server /app.ts, just like this. And also we shall be requiring one more script. So here we shall be writing dev, and here we should be writing a build script. And under my build, I will be writing tsc-p and dot. Now if you are getting confused between what the thing I am writing here, so first of all we are starting our entire server. So for that purpose I am writing node under public.js file, that is app.js file, and after that I am running my entire server with the help of NodeMon, which continuously watches our server time to time. And once the following process is done, I am building my entire server with the following command of tsc-p and dot. Don't forget the following dot, else you will get many errors. And here first of all you should be converting .es5 module to ES6, and also under library, first of all you should be requiring a DOM, and after that you should be requiring ES17 module, just like this. And once this thing is done, under root directory you should be writing here server, and under my output directory I will be writing here public, just like this. Cool, so now once we are done with the following changes, we can go back under our app.ts. Let's say app is running. Let's test it out. So for testing it out, let's go over to our terminal, and we should be writing the following command of npm run dev, press enter. Cool, so our node mon is started and we should be seeing the following message here. Alright, so we are getting our message of API is running. So in this way we have successfully set up our entire project folder. So now first of all what we can really do is set up our Express server. So for that purpose, first of all you should be importing Express from our Express module just like this. And once we have got our Express module, we should be also importing .env from our package, that is module of .env just like this. And here I should be writing .env .config just like this. So now what I can really do is add a new constant of port which will be 8080 for now. So once we have got our port, I can say constant app should be equal to our Express module, that is calling our Express server. So once we have got our app, I can write app.get to set up our home route, and here it should be requiring a request and also a response. The following thing will be through an arrow function, and here I can simply say response.send, and once the following thing is done, I should write here app.listen, and under this first of all it will be taking our port which is 8080, and after that it will be requiring an empty function, that is a callback, and under my callback I can simply say console.log under backticks of server is rocking over the following port. And so for approaching the port you should be writing here dollar quotation, and under curly braces you should be writing the port here. So once we have done the following changes, let's open it up our entire terminal. Cool, so now you can see our server is rocking over 8080, and once our server is rocking over 8080, let's start working our authentication module. So for authentication module we can simply do one thing, that is create a new folder under our server which will be called as auth, and also one more folder which will be called as database just like this. So first of all what you can really do is under database I will be creating a new folder, yes, a folder known as models, and under a model I will be creating a new model for the user. So here I should be writing user.ts just like this, and under my user.ts I will be creating a new model for our new user under Twitter clone. And for having that purpose, first of all you need to import Mongoose just like this, and once we have imported Mongoose I can say import Mongoose from Mongoose just like this. And after that what I can really do is create a new interface. Now if you are new to TypeScript, I would recommend you to watch the following crash course. In this crash course I have explained everything that you need to know about TypeScript, and once you have watched the TypeScript course, or if you already know TypeScript, I will be creating a new interface. So here let's have a new interface, and the following interface will be known as user interface just like this. The following interface, that is user interface, will be extending a new document. So here let's extend the following thing with a new document, and under this first of all I will be creating a new username for our user which will be a new string, and after that we should be also having a user email which will be a string as well, and after that a user password, why not, yes, it will be a string as well. And once we have got our user interface, I will be creating a constant user schema. So here let's have a new user schema. The following thing will be a new schema, so here I should be writing a schema, and after that the following thing will be a new schema. So here you should be writing a new schema, and under this you should be initializing a new schema. So first of all, as we have declared under our interface, we should be having our username which will be consisting a new object, and under my object I can simply say the following type of my username will be a string, and after that I will be requiring the following username. So here I should be writing here, and here I should be writing a property of required to be true just like this. And after that let's copy the following piece of line, paste it twice. Now I will be copying my following username, that is user email, and also user password, and the following thing will be same as well, that is type of string and required to be true. Once we have defined our user schema, let's create a constant user which will be a Mongoose document. So here I should be saying constant user should be equal to mongoose dot model just like this, and after under my model first of all I need to provide my user interface. So here you should be providing here user interface, alright, 000. So once we have provided the following user interface, you should be writing here the model name that you need to provide, and for now we are giving it a model name to be user, and after that we need to paste our user schema. So here let's paste on our user schema just like this, and once we are done for the following side I can simply export my entire user. So for that purpose I should be writing here export default user. Now we are getting the following piece of error, let's check it out. Alright, we need to export the following interface also. So once we have created our user model, let's start working over the controllers for user methods. So first of all, what we really need to do is go back under our authentication, and here I will be creating a new folder known as controller. Also, I will be creating a new folder under my auth known as routes. I will be creating one more folder for all the controllers, just like this. So once we have created our proper folder structure, let's go under authentication, and here I will be creating a new file known as auth controller.ts, not dart.ts, just like this. And here I will be creating a new class which will be our auth controller. Easy. So under my auth controller, I need to initialize all the methods that we need, which is sign up and login. So for that purpose, I will be creating a static method. The following method will be taking two different parameters of request and response. So let's go at the top and import our request and response from Express. So here you should be writing import request and response from Express, just like this. And once we have imported this, let's add a request to be a request and also a response to be a response, just like this. So first of all, under my signup method, I need to enable course. So here you should be writing the following line. First of all, we need to have the following input from the user, and for that purpose I should be writing let username and also user password should be equal to request.body, just like this. So that, and in this way we can decode all of our username, user email and user password from our request from our body. So once we have done this, first of all we need to check whether the user email is validated or not, and for that purpose we are going to be using email validator that we have installed at the start of this tutorial. So here I should be writing import everything as email validator, and here I should be importing everything from email validator, just like this. So first of all I can simply say let is validated should be equal to a new boolean which will be awaiting from our email validator. So to make this thing under await state, you need to make the method to be asynchronous. So under await state I should be writing email validator dot validate the following user email, just like this. And once the following thing is done, alright, it won't be needing await state. So now once we have, so now the following thing will be a boolean. If you hover over it, it will be a type of boolean. So now I can simply say if the following thing is not validated, I can simply say return response.status. First of all I will be setting the status to be 201, and also I will be sending a JSON message. Under this I will be adding a property that is key to be authentication, which will be false, and after that I will be sending my data, and here I can simply say invalid email, just like this. But if the following thing is not so, we can carry up our entire operation. So first of all, if the email is validated, that is if the email is not invalid, I will be first of all creating a new salt. So first of all I will be creating a new salt for my hashing, that is for decrypting my entire password. So for that purpose I should be writing here let salt should be equal to under await state for bcrypt. Alright, let's import our bcrypt. Let's say import bcrpt from bcrypt, just like this. And now here I should be saying await bcrypt dot generate salt. Now the salt will be taking number of rounds and 10 shall be enough. So once we have created number of salt that is round to be 10, I can simply say await bcrypt dot create a new hash, and for creating a new hash you should be writing bcrypt.hash. Now under this, if you hover over it, it will be taking data, salt or rounds and also a new callback. So first of all we should be hashing our user password. So here you should be writing user password and also the salt, just like this. And after writing the following thing, it will be giving us a callback. Under my callback it will be giving us a error which will be type of any, and also it will be giving us hashed password, just like this, which will be under type of any as well. And here we can throw an arrow function just as we do. So first of all, if we get any error, I can simply say if error, I can say return response.send error message. So let's copy the following entire return statement and paste it here, and here I can simply say something went wrong, and also you can use any sort of code as you need. So now if we will be getting the following error, we will be simply sending the status and also a message of something went wrong, and also we will be sending the boolean of authentication to be false. But if the thing is not so, what we can really do is carry out further process with the help of hash password. And once we will be getting our hash password, first of all let's console log our hash password. So for that purpose, let's say console log hash password. So now let's test out of whatever the thing that we have did so far. So first of all, once we have declared our auth controller, let's export the following class. So here you should be writing export class of auth controller. So now I can go back under my routes of auth, and here let's create a new file of router.ts, not that one. And first of all, I will be importing router from Express, just like this. And after that, I can simply say constant router should be equal to router, just like this. And now I can simply say router dot post. First of all, the user shall be able to post his sign up method. So here let's add a path of auth / sign up. And after that, it will be requiring an empty handler. So for handler, I can simply say auth controller sign up, our sign up method, just like this, easy peasy. And now once we have done this, I can simply say export, just like this. Alright, a bad spelling, let's export our router, just like this. And once we have done this, let's go under our app.ts. And now instead of writing this method, I can simply say app.use, our entire method. So first of all, let's write here empty path, and also I can simply import my router, just like this. So once we have done the following configuration changes, the last thing that we need to carry out is simply write app.use express.json. We need to encode all of our JSON, and I can simply say app.use, alright, app.use express.url encoded, which is a property, and under this I should be writing the property of extended to be false, just like this. And once we have done the following changes, now we are good to go. Let's carry out the further process under our browser itself about watching whether our method is able to hash our entire data or not. And now if I open my terminal, server is rocking. And you know what, instead of going to our Postman, we are going to be carrying out all of our operations from our VS Code. So you need to install the following extension of Thunder Client from the extensions of VS Code. So from our extension of Thunder Client, I can go here. Let's make this thing right there, and here it will be on our localhost of 8080. So here it should be writing 8080, and under my body I should be writing the following parameters. So first of all, as we have declared, first of all I will be writing my user email, just like this, and the following user email shall be nothing but simply my user email at gmail.com. Similarly, let's add other parameters. Cool. So once we have added the following thing, let's try it out. So now as you can see, we have our path of auth.lineup. Let's do one thing, go under our routes. So here we can go under our routes, that is router, and under my router you can see I have a path of auth/lineup, and similarly we have our path to be auth/lineup. So now let's try sending the following request to our server. So after sending a post request, and let's open our terminal. Now you can see we are getting our message here of our hash password. The following method that we have generated so far is successfully able to hash our entire password, that is decrypt our entire password. So once we have done the following changes, we are now good to go to carry out our further operations. So now what we can really do is write here rest.send our hashed password, just like this. Let's try it out one more time. Cool. So now if I go under my testing purpose, and if I send a post request, you can see we will be getting the following message from our server of our hashed password that we have hashed our entire Abhishek. And also let's check whether our email validator is working or not. So now if I remove my @ sign from this side and send a post request, I will be getting the message that authentication is false, the data is invalid. But as soon as I write here @ and send a post request, I will be getting my hashed password. If I remove k from this side and observe the following text, and if I post a new request, I will be getting some different hash password. So congratulations, we are successfully able to hash our entire password. So in the next tutorial, we will be submitting all of our data under MongoDB. So till then, if you have loved this tutorial, hit that like button, and I will see you in the next one.